Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone's well. We finally have a bit of good news, and some of the deadwood could be leaving the club. Mohamed Elneny, Bordeaux, are linked for £7 million, which is pretty much there or thereabouts what we've paid for him since he's got it. I think the fee was about £5.5 million or something like that, so it might be a little bit of profit in terms of transfer fee. If you add in wages, then obviously we're still at a loss. But yeah, hopefully he is going to be going to Bordeaux, and I'd get him on the next available flight, get him straight over there, get it done and dusted, get him off the books, and yeah, it's extra money available. So slight bit of good news. Everyone's telling me in the comments about Saliba, it's done. I have sort of looked into that. I held off of calling it and jumping the gun in case anything happened, because obviously Roma and Wolverhampton Wanderers were linked to him as well, and it's sort of been all over the place. And I got a bit bored of speaking about him, if I'm being honest. So I thought I'd go with the Elneny story. That's a bit of good news. Obviously with Saliba, he's not going to be coming until next season. So yeah, Mohamed Elneny, thanks for the goal against Barcelona. It is time to say goodbye. Now we just need about another 10 more to go, and it'll be a successful transfer window. Good afternoon to 200 people already. Good afternoon, VP. Your intro is a banger, says Brandon. Thank you, mate. All of the graphics for this channel will be changed by the end of this month, beginning of August. I've got somebody sorted for that. They're going to be doing a new intro, outro, new little icon, new banner, the whole work. So that's going to be sorted at the end of this month. So yeah, make the most of that intro music, because it will be gone in about 3 weeks' time. But yeah, Mohamed Elneny, one of the worst signings we've had in recent times. Absolutely offered nothing to Arsenal, sideways and backwards. Literally, I can't remember anything good that he's done other than score against Barcelona, which meant absolutely nothing. Other than that, what has he done? He's done nothing since he's been here. I'm driving to Bordeaux. Does he want a free lift? Says Don. Well, maybe you should get in contact with Unai, mate, and get his phone number, give him a little WhatsApp, and send him your location, mate. It's all a lie. Well, we shall see, Alex. We shall see. I do think that he will be going. I don't think that he's. I don't think he's going to be getting any game time next season. He got hardly any this season, just finished. So hopefully, even if it's only £2 million, it's better than nothing. Get him off the books. But reportedly, it is around £7 million. So we shall see what happens with that. Hopefully, in the next few days, that'll progress quickly. Obviously, it's only a small transfer fee in today's market. £7 million is not a great deal of money. Then again, I suppose for Bordeaux, it probably is a big bit of money. You know, they're not exactly flush with money. Then again, neither are we. But £7 million, it's not a massive amount of money in terms of transfer fees. So hopefully that goes through pretty quickly, and hopefully he is off the books. Georgie, the Leicester fan, says breaking news: Youri Tielemans has signed. Has he actually signed for Leicester? That's a great signing for Leicester if you've got him. There's various reports, Dark Zero, all over the internet, suggesting that Elneny is going. Snatch 7 million off of him, says Sam. Yeah, mate, listen, I'd snatch 70 quid off of him for Elneny. He's been an absolute waste of space, waste of a squad place, hampering the youth teamers that could potentially break through. Maitland-Niles could play in that position. Joe Willock, he could play in midfield. I know he's not in that mould of a defensive midfielder. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder, but it is hampering the kids coming through. And listen, let's be real, the likes of Joe Willock and Maitland-Niles are better than Mohamed Elneny, and they deserve to be in that team over him. They deserve to be in the squads over him. And you know, let's be real, he hardly made any squads this season, and then he came on and played a couple of games at sub. He started a game against Palace, I think it was, when it was the Wilfred Zaha show, and he run rings around everyone. But yeah, if that is true, then hopefully he's gone. Alex George says even Egypt fans don't rate Elneny. I don't know. I don't know many Egyptians, if I'm being honest, mate, but I'll take your word for it. Ozdemir says, have you ever played football at any level? If so, what position did you play and what was your best attribute? Well, mate, I'm 10 stone dripping wet. I was a goal hanging centre forward. And yeah, my goal scoring record for the kids team and the school team was pretty decent, but never made it to any sort of decent level. But I'd say my best attribute was goal hanging. Although I am both-footed, I can play with both feet, left or right. Although my left's more got more power than the right. But yeah, I was pretty good as a kid, but I weren't ever good enough to make it. But a lot of kids in my school did make it into like not first teams, but they made it into first team squads. A couple of kids made it at Fulham. Another one made it at Chelsea. They no longer play football anymore, but they did sort of get offered terms and conditions at clubs and got into youth setups and stuff like that. So yeah, I was never that good. But yeah, Joseph says 0 goals in 55 appearances. He actually scored against Barcelona, mate. He scored, I think that's the only goal Elneny has ever scored for us, isn't it? I don't know. I might be wrong. Yeah, it's quite criminal how he is number 4 as well, isn't it? Let's be real. Elneny or Denilson, I think that's an easy option, mate, to be honest with you. It's Denilson all day long. It was a great goal, Chris, the one against Barcelona. It meant absolutely nothing in the end. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, he is leaving the club and we're going to get some actual money for him, which is a miracle in itself. So yeah, hopefully he's gone. And if he does go, who's his shirt number going to? If the shirt number's been announced yet, I'm not sure. I haven't seen any of that yet. But who do we give the number 4 to? Because it's a crime in itself that he's got number 4. So for me, he's got to go anyway. But even if he doesn't go, you take the number off of him. Torreira, maybe. Yeah, maybe Torreira, number 4. Yeah, maybe. I think Smith Rowe. I'm not sure about number 4 for Smith Rowe, to be honest with you. Number 4 goes to Holding. I don't know. See, thing is, right, with centre backs, they used to be number 5 and number 6 back in the day. All these funky numbers they get nowadays is just confusing. It's like what happened to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, what's that all about? You know, personally, if we was going to give a number 4 away, I'd give it to Torreira. PKM Media says, do you think it's just the media putting spotlight over us in terms of transfer timescales, making things seem longer than they are? Possibly. You've got a good point. And maybe, just maybe, it's Arsenal putting it out there saying things are taking forever, just to make it look like we haven't got any money. Who knows? Maybe we ain't got any money. I don't know. But, you know, if Arsenal came out and said that they had £200 million to spend, all of a sudden Kieran Tierney's 50 million quid, isn't he? So I don't know. I'm not sure, mate, to be honest with you. What do you reckon Company is worth currently? Well, Company walk into our team as the best centre back at the club, mate. So he's probably worth about £40 million. Although his legs have probably gone, but he's still a quality centre back. But yeah, he's I'd say, I don't know, because of his age and all that, he's probably worth about 20 million, 25 million. This will not be a very long stream. I'll be doing about another 10 minutes of this. I will be doing a longer one at 9 o'clock, but I've got a few things to do. Yes, he has retired. I'm very well, Reese. I hope you're well. We should go in for Tarkovsky, says Ryan. I agree with that. I agree. I think he's a good player. Is Saliba that good? Well, this is the thing, blank 404. Nobody really knows. Unless you watch, you know, French league football, you haven't got a clue who this guy was until a couple of weeks back. So it's all well and good putting him on a pedestal and everyone being excited because we're about to sign him. But at the same time, we've put enough players on pedestals over the years and they've come in and absolutely flopped, mate. So I'm going to hold back on it until I watch him play, until I see him in an Arsenal shirt, which is apparently not going to be until the season after the one about to start. So I don't know. I don't know. The NAS 141, why do our transfers go on forever? What's the latest with Tierney? I don't know why they're going for so long, mate, to be honest. I don't know. I'm not too sure, mate. We're not the only club this happens to. Apparently, William Saliba has been in talks with Roma for 3 months. So Arsenal was his first choice out of the clubs linked to him. Us, Wolves and Roma were linked to him. But at the same time, Roma have been speaking to his representatives for 3 months and they still ain't signed him. So it's not just us that are slow. Other teams are slow as well. going to buy some Stella. No, it's a school night, VP. I'm being a good boy. The real Gooner Eagle Eye is in the building. No fake jet Chig. Big up Chig, my boy. Subscribe to him if you're not already. What do you think of Delafeu? Says Suog Kale. Not good enough for Arsenal, in my opinion. Turns up 1 out of 10 games. Looks world class in that one game, mind, but not good enough to step up. What are your thoughts on Tielemans? Says Ilias. Very, very good player. And if it is true that Leicester have signed him, then they've got themselves a top draw player there, and one that can kick on. He was good against us last season. And let's be real, he's only 22, is he? So yeah, he could go on and have a great career if he keeps his nut down. He's got a good manager in Brendan Rodgers. So yeah, good luck to him. Shame we didn't sign him. Arsenal should get Thiago Silva. Ignore my name. All right, I'll ignore your name, and that is pretty off-key, mate, if I'm being honest. Thanks for your donation. And I'll be honest, Thiago Silva, very good player, but it'd cost stupid wages, man, like ridiculous wages if we was to sign him. Add the fee on top of that. So Aiden Hassan says next season will be a transition, bumpy ride ahead. Exactly. I've already braced myself, seatbelt on and all that. Do you think we need a left-footed centre-back? All of ours are right-sided ones, says Thomas Wilson. That's a good point, actually. We haven't actually got a left-footed centre-back, have we? Unless Holding's left-footed. I don't think he is, though, is he? So, yeah, maybe we do, just to balance it up. We see in midfield that Granit Xhaka is so left-footed that when the ball comes to him on his right, he has to take a touch to get it onto his left, by which time people have pressured him and he flops. So, yeah, maybe we do. Maybe we do need a left-footed centre-back. Yash Yadev says, spend 30 million on a defender and send him back on loan and play Mustafi week in, week out. Great business. Well, to be honest, from the reports I've read, and I might do the 9 o'clock stream about Saliba, the reports I've read suggest that we're only paying a couple of £1 million up front, and then we'll be paying the majority of it next summer. So it doesn't really come off of this year's budget. But I don't know. I ain't really done enough research on it, which is why I went with Elneny rather than Saliba. But yeah, we shall see. All this nonsense about Ziyech flopping at African Cup of Nations. Shouldn't we buy him? Do you subscribe to that process, Lee? Do you know what, right? I'm shocked nobody's come in for Saliba yet. I'm actually genuinely shocked that nobody's bid for him. Maybe it's because he's at the African Cup of Nations and everyone's been told, oh, he ain't doing nothing until after. Maybe his agent is in talks with teams. Who knows? Not all transfers get leaked. I only found out this morning at about 5 o'clock this morning that William Saliba has been in talks with Roma for 3 months. So, you know, that's only just broken in the media. So they've done well at keeping that under wraps for 3 months. So maybe he has been in talks. We don't know, really, to be honest with you. Should we stop wasting our time on Zaha and get someone else? Well, to be honest, everyone knows my thoughts on Zaha. So, yeah, I agree. Steve Sidwell to replace Ramsey. Jesus Christ, that's a throwback to the past. Gershwin says Charlie Gilmore signs for Norwich. Is that permanent or loan? I think that's permanent, isn't it? Professor Lee back at 9. I will be back at 9. It'll be a longer stream than this. I'm going to do about another 5 minutes of this. Thanks to over 600 of you watching live. Do stick a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new as well. Thank you to nearly 20,500 of you subscribed. It's a permanent deal. Everton have bid for Malcolm. Yeah, I'll see that, Chris. I'll see that. Apparently, PSG are in for Malcolm as well. '84 Sassy says 3 signings would instantly make us better. Tierney, Saliba and Fraser. I can't disagree with that, mate. Listen, at the end of the day, all 3 of them walk straight into the first team, other than maybe Saliba, who don't know a great deal about. But let's be honest, anyone who can defend is better than Mustafi. So, yeah, he probably would walk into the team. Gamer Boy says, I'm a big fan. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Do you think Man United and Arsenal are no longer appealing to top players, says Hatam El Abiad? Good question. I think that the problem Arsenal and Man United have got is the fact that we've both got massive wage bills of players that ain't good enough to play for the clubs. So, they've got Sanchez, Pogba, who turns up 2 months out of 8. And when he does turn up, Pogba, he's world class, but he does it 2 months out of 8 in a year, which ain't good enough. And he's on stupid wages. So is Sanchez. They've just signed up Ashley Young, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, I think Jesse Lingard, Rashford. They're all on massive money. So the problem is they've got to try and get rid of some players. Juan Mata's just signed a new deal. They've got to get rid of some of these players. And I don't know why they've given them some new deals, because the majority of the names I just read out, if not all of them, are not good enough. So I don't know. That's Man United's problem. The problem we have is our wage bills stacked with average players that are on top dollar. Nobody's going to pay them that elsewhere. So nobody's going to pay a fee plus that high wage to get them on their books, which means we're pretty much stuck with players. So yeah, we're probably both in the same boat. I don't know whether we would not appeal to top players. We're both still big football clubs. Let's have that right. But the problem is paying the money and getting it over the line, whereas other clubs can come in off a Champions League as well. I don't know, mate. Arsenal has a far better manager than United. I agree with that, rather. He'll get sacked, Solskjaer, by Christmas. If you could sell 9 players, who would they be, says Toby? Mustafi, Jenkinson, Ozil, Xhaka, Elneny, there's 5. Mkhitaryan. Who else have I missed? Mkhitaryan. Who else is there, man? I don't know. I've missed a few, and No, I'd keep Iwobi. I'd keep Iwobi for 1 more season. Kolasinac, Monreal, Koscielny. There we go. There's 8. Is that 8 or 9? There we go. Chambers is another one. Bielik, another one. There we go. Thanks for all the suggestions. No, I'd keep Iwobi. I think he's done pretty well in the African Cup of Nations. I think that he scored an absolute banger in the Europa League final. He was one of the only players that turned up in the Europa League final. And I thought he was outstanding when he came on. But it's a big, big season for him this season. If he doesn't cut it this season, he has to go at the end of the season. So yeah, we shall see. But hopefully, fingers crossed, he has a good season, because I do think he's a good player, and I think he's had a lot of unwarranted stick. Like I said, if you put a number 10, which essentially he is, as a left forward all season, would Ozil perform as well as him in terms of output? Ozil didn't even perform playing at number 10, let alone left forward. So yeah, there we go. I don't know, mate, but listen, there's a lot of players I'd sell from Arsenal. It's whether we can get rid of them. Ashley Ryan says, who would you replace Ramsey with? Pucker Channel Lee. Thank you for that, mate. Appreciate it. I'd replace him with Smith Rowe and Willock. Maybe just put them 2 in the team. Get rid of Xhaka, put Decore in there, or Ndidi, put him next to Torreira, and just play the 2 kids. I wish someone would go for Takuma Asano. Haven't seen him play once. Well, apparently, mate, I've got some good news for you. Apparently, he is being linked to a loan move. So, yeah, he could be on the way out as well, which was another masterstroke from the previous regime. Let's buy a geezer who's never going to play a game. Then we'll just loan him out every season until his contract expires. Well done, mate. Well done. What was that all about? What a complete waste. Why do you want to sell Bielik, says Dan. He's played 2 games for Arsenal first team. He's not really done anything in them 2 games. And he's 21 years old. He had a very good season at Charlton. But when you look at other kids of his age or below that are getting first team action at other clubs across the world that we've sold or loaned, or even kids that are playing in our first team setup, Maitland-Niles is better than him. Let's be real. Maitland-Niles is miles better than him. Is he getting in Arsenal midfield over Maitland-Niles? Not for me. No chance. So I think the fact that 2 managers ain't really fancied him and loaned him out suggests that they don't rate him. And there we go. I wouldn't have him in the first team. I don't think he's done anything anywhere near enough to warrant being in the first team for Arsenal Football Club. It's all well and good doing it in 2 divisions lower. How about do it in a proper league? But listen, good luck to him if he goes. I don't dislike him. I just don't think he's good enough. Hi Lee, hope you're good, man. Nice to catch you live for once. Not sure what is worse, not having sold versus not buying. I'd probably go with not having sold, mate, if I'm being honest. And thanks for your donation as well, mate. I appreciate that. There's a lot of players at this club that shouldn't be here much longer. I've just read 10 names out that shouldn't be here, maybe more, 11 or 12. Now, let's be realistic. We can't get rid of all of them in this window. But the likes of Elneny, the likes of Jenkinson, one of Monreal or Kolasinac, maybe both, Koscielny, they have to go. Mkhitaryan, Mesut Ozil, they have to go. I'd keep Xhaka. If we got rid of the rest of them, I'd be over the moon. I'd keep Xhaka for one more season and maybe offload him next season because he ain't good enough. Let's be honest with ourselves. He ain't good enough. And these people that hold on to this, oh, well, build a team around Ozil and Xhaka and you'll get the best out of them. Well, it's not 2013, it's 2019. And they ain't good enough. And they haven't been good enough for a long, long time now. So let's stop with all this sentiment and get rid of them and go and buy players that are young and hungry and fit and raring to go. Favourite player from the Emirates era, says Kane. Thanks for your donation as well, mate. Favourite player from the Emirates era. I've got a few, actually. Fabregas, love that guy. Absolute gem of a footballer, man. The amount of goals that guy scored from midfield and central midfield, not attacking midfield, was ridiculous. Alexis Sanchez and Santi Cazorla, they'd be my top three, not in no particular order because all three of them were quality. But Sanchez and Fabregas I'd probably put above Santi just based on the amount of games and goals they've scored. But Cazorla was probably the most talented in terms of technical ability. But yeah, Fabregas, man, and Sanchez, absolute joy to watch. Joy to watch. The amount of times I've been at games and I've seen Sanchez just ping a ball and I knew it's in before it's gone to the back of the net. Fabregas, mate, we rejected bringing him back and that was a massive mistake. Well, I'm going to get this wrapped up. Thank you to nearly 800 people watching live. I will be back at 9 o'clock, nearly said 8, 9 o'clock I will be back. Please do stick a like on the video before you go. 760 people watching live. All of you go and smash the thumbs up on it. I will be back at 9 o'clock, probably talking about Saliba unless something else happens in the meantime. So yeah, thanks to everyone in the chat, everyone who's watched, stuck a like on it, everyone who donated. Only a short one, but I will be back at 9 with a longer stream. So I shall see you all later.